Happening today, Iowa is front and center as voters take part in the first big test of the 2024 presidential election cycle, the Iowa caucuses.
Yeah, the presidential election begins in earnest tonight at 7 o'clock Central Time. Iowans, though, have to brave record-breaking temperatures to get to their caucus site. Some of Iowa's 99 counties are forecasted to feel as low as negative 50 degrees.
Wow. With
the wind chill tonight. As for the politics, candidates were out in full force over this weekend, making their final campaign push to Iowans. Front-runner in the polls, former President Trump closed out his campaign in Iowa with a final rally. He urged voters to brave the cold and suggested voting is worth dying for.
You can't sit home. If you're sick as a dog, you say, darling, I gotta make it. Even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it.
A new NBC News Des Moines Registered Mediacom poll is giving us a look at how caucus goers are feeling as we head into tonight. It shows Trump maintaining a nearly 30-point lead over former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. He polled at 48% compared to Haley at 20%. That's followed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis with 16% and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy with 8%. Three-quarters of caucus goers believe that Trump can defeat Biden despite the former president's legal challenges. And of the 23% who think he can't, most support Haley. One more interesting note from that new poll. More than half of Haley's backers there say they would vote for President Biden over former President Trump if he becomes the nominee. The Today Show is breaking down all of these findings ahead at 7 o'clock.
With the Iowa caucuses now upon us, you might wonder, how does it all work? Caucuses are run differently than the type of election here in our state. And in Iowa, it's even different this year, depending on the party. Let's break it down.
Iowa is always the first state to cast ballots for presidential nominations, but it does things a little differently. For one thing, there are no voting booths. Instead, voters show up to caucus sites throughout the state's nearly 1,700 precincts. They must get there by 7 p.m. local time or they can't participate. These caucus sites include churches, school gymnasiums, libraries, even retail stores in the community. For Iowa Republicans, they'll meet in person, and representatives for each candidate will speak, hoping to drum up support and convince voters who they should vote for. Every caucus scorer will be given a slip of paper to pick their favorite candidate. The ballots are counted, and the results are announced later that night. Now, the big change this year is for Democratic caucuses. For the first time, Democrats will cast their presidential preference by mail. The results will then be announced on March 5th, otherwise known as Super Tuesday. The party will still hold an in-person caucus today, but only for party business, unrelated to picking a presidential nominee. And the Iowa caucuses could give us a better idea of the direction the race is headed.